Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
Lauren on YouTube. Yeah, I need to I need to change that title. How did that happen? That thing is over. I wonder if I can edit on the fly. Let me find out. While we wait a couple of seconds for people to come in, let me see if I can fix this title on YouTube. Man, where'd this come from? All right, let's see. Watch. How about this? Live weather forecast discussion. How about that? And then we'll delete this. I don't know if you can actually do this live on YouTube. We'll find out. All right, hit save. All right, we'll see if it changed for you. If so, let me know. If that's a 1-year forecast in the future, that's how good I am. I can talk about next Super Bowl. As long as it doesn't include Taylor Swift and Kelsey, whatever his name is, I'll be good. All right, I had enough of that nonsense for a season. All right, let's see. You guys checking in. Appreciate you on YouTube, by the way. I see my usual crew is in the house, so holler at your boy. I see ya. Say where you're checking in from. Same thing for you guys on Facebook. Larry is probably one of the first to sign in here for tonight. Brenda, I see you. Leslie, Angela, my boy David Getty's in the house. Chance, Sally. Of course, the wife is checking in, so make sure you say hello to Mrs. Tuttle. And then Christy, Tracy, Kim, Shelly. All right. So, tell you what, so we haven't seen me obviously in a while because we've got we had some really nice weather. This is like equivalent. So I guess really our latter part of February and the first part of March is kind of like our October weather. It's just quiet. It's nice. Temperatures are great. It's not too cold. It's not hot yet. I mean, you have some wild swings in there, but you'd have that sometimes in October as well. So, Castner, let's hold them to it. You know, it's funny. Every time somebody says if Trump wins the election, I'm leaving the country. Funny thing is, these people never leave the country. So maybe they'll be the first to leave. I don't know. But anyway, so that's I've enjoyed the nice quiet change in the weather, but we're gonna have obviously some storms to come back as soon as tonight, and then on into tomorrow and Fridays. That's why we're here. We're live to talk about that and see if we're gonna have any severe weather with it. If we are, what kind of severe weather might we see? So you come to the right place. You know the deal. I know. What I'm trying to do is for this season is try to make it shorter and quicker. You guys are like, yes. When I first started, I had the whole floor, right? I mean, there was no other content creators out there. There was nobody doing weather. I mean, it was just me, and that's great. That was back in 2014. So that's 10 years ago. So you guys now have a lot of people to watch. So as a result, my eyeballs, have lessened and their attention span has lessened. So it is what it is. You got 500 channels, on TV and cable to watch. Well, probably 1,000 now. And guess what? Now you got 500 internet channels to watch. So it changed quickly in 10 years. So even though I may have been a pioneer at the beginning, I need to get with the times and speed things up so that you guys don't turn the channel, so to speak. So we'll start that a little quicker this season, by the way, just to let you know. Okay, so let's move on with it. So out there currently, if you would like to get a Tempest weather station like mine, you can get one right here with a discount. Use promo code TEAMAT, and you can get one in your backyard real easy, and it can work on your cell phone, see your own little deal. Kids can enjoy it, all that kind of stuff. It's real easy to install. Literally, it's that picture you see on the left of my ear. That's what it looks like. So you stick them in a pole and you're good to go. All right, let's go to, by the way, in the Facebook comments, I did post where you can do some things, such as join the Facebook broadcast channel, etc. So take a look at that anytime during the broadcast and then come on back or go forward. Let's do the radar here view real quick. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this first. All right, so no storms out there yet, but they will be developing here within the next few hours. Currently, the rain is down here into North Texas, out here into western Texas, so some showers and a few thunderstorms there. No big deal. And then here across Oklahoma, it's kind of mild. We have temperatures in the mid 50s to low 60s across most of Oklahoma. Coolest weather's up here in northwestern parts of the state. They've got some 40s up in this region toward the Panhandle. So all in all, not too terrible. All right, well, let's take a look. We have a severe weather threat from the Storm Prediction Center for our Thursday. Now, you can notice most of this yellow you see on the map, which indicates a slight risk, is anchored across Texas, western parts of Texas from Dallas westward to Abilene and southwest San Angelo, and then back into the western third of Oklahoma. So it's not the entire state, it's just that little sliver. And the panel here on the right, this is a, believe it or not, a very weak, a 2% ring for a tornado threat. And then if you look down here to the south and west, this is, I know you can barely probably read this, for hail. And then on the bottom right, that little large area is for wind. And that wind means wind gusts and probably equal to or in excess of 58 miles per hour, where you would have a severe thunderstorm wind gust. The funny thing about that is we'll have winds just gusting themselves around 40 or so with this event as the storm system rolls through. So it'll be kind of windy in general. Really tonight it'll start to pick up through about Saturday morning as the whole system moves on by. All right, so let's get to the details. Upper level storm system out to our south and west, zipping on in. All this bright color indicates lift and energy here in the atmosphere, stretching all the way from the southwestern parts of the U.S. on up into the central plains. That'd be, I guess, kinetic and potential energy, depending on what you're under. But the point being is, this is where your action is for cloud cover and also for storms and some rainfall. So anyway, this will move on through. That's on our Thursday. And then here is into Friday. So you still swinging on by. There we go. Big heavy stuff for Friday night. And then Saturday morning kind of moves on off to the east and kind of takes everything with it. And we start to dry out. And things look good for the weekend. It's going to be a little bit on the chilly side. We'll show you the morning lows on Saturday. So if you were out planting, for example, this past weekend, shame on you. You're going to have to cover some things up. Let's put it that way. All right, let's take a look at temperatures here for tonight. 50s, about where they are, to actually warming up to 60s pretty quickly for tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, still lots of 60s here, especially across the southern and southeastern parts of the state where cloud cover will be quite a bit thicker and a lot more moisture to work with. So you got some dry air in here from Elk City to Enid that will be overcome with some moisture with time, but we're getting a bit more sun, so that means temperatures do warm into the lower 70s out here, and that'll be the focus for some thunderstorms. And we'll show you where the cold front position is on that as well. Then we'll zip through. We'll see how things will cool down for Friday morning. 50s across most of Oklahoma with the exception of the northwest as that front moves through. And as we head into Friday afternoon, a little cooler northwestern Oklahoma, so pretty much the I-35 corridor and points west. 40s mostly for that part of the afternoon, into the 30s way out west. Otherwise, 50s and 60s out to the east. And then by Saturday morning, like we said, we'll be cooling down into the 30s, so light freeze for some. Let's take a look at the wind field. Like we talked about tonight, winds will pick up a little bit. Now, the green is the moisture, meaning there's dew points in the atmosphere. We're going to zip you on into tomorrow, right around the mid-afternoon to late afternoon. So here's 5 o'clock. So what you have here is a cold front zipping in like this. And then out ahead of it, you kind of had a little bit of a southwest wind for a little while, and that kind of helps to warm things up. But it does get overtaken by this little moisture train here out of the south. So these little wind barbs do come out of the south direction. So it does start to put in a little bit moisture here, kind of at the last minute. So really what we have is a convergence line out here for thunderstorms to form in this area of the state, but we're pretty moisture starved. Meaning we just don't have a whole lot of juice to work with. So when you look at that in the atmosphere, it kind of looks like this on a forecast sounding. We have a lot of dry air disparity here at the lower levels. Now that can add to a little bit of the wind damage potential, but also can sometimes keep those thunderstorms on the marginal severe side versus full-blown severe. However, that is where the threat for a potential tornado, large hail, or damaging wind is concerned. And that through 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, that moisture kind of deepens along that area as it arrives at the last minute. If we look at a forecast sounding for that point in time at those storms that have a tendency to feed into, the cap will start to build during the late evening hours as it normally does. So we don't have a big window here for action, but needless to say, that's where the things should evolve. But here's a look at the wind gusting for tonight into tomorrow morning. Look at this winds up around 30 to 40 where you see the red. So across much of really central, western, eastern Oklahoma. As it's tomorrow afternoon, those winds stay with us. And then there's areas of the states will kind of die down and low, but then pick back up again. But central part of the state seems to be the sweet spot in the afternoon hours. And for Thursday evening, still continues overnight. And then on Friday, look at that big wall of wind out here in western Oklahoma. You guessed that's behind the cold front. So all that pink and red is winds up 30 to 40. That quickly moves across the state during the afternoon. There's Muskogee gust at 44, for example, as that front rolls in by Friday evening. And you can see how the entire state getting them some wind for Friday evening. So like I said, pretty breezy through about Saturday morning. Then things will start to quiet down. Okay, so here's a look at how the animation of the storms should evolve, somewhat similar to what you're going to see on the map. So for tonight, we are going to see those showers, thunderstorms developing down south. So midnight hour onward is when they will blossom and move into eastern and central and southern Oklahoma. Maybe a little spattering up here to the northern parts of the state as well. This will move through by 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. So Tulsa, your commute probably still a little wet. Raz will probably dry out by the time we start our commute here in Oklahoma City. And then as we head into the afternoon, still some more showers and thunderstorms in southeast Oklahoma. And then as we talked about, some magic may happen here for 7 o'clock hour as moisture kind of comes in at the last minute along that cold front boundary here in northwest Oklahoma. So some thunderstorms here developing. The radar right now, the model forecast of what the radar looks like isn't all that impressive. Like I said, it's kind of the borderline of severe weather, which is good. We don't want any major severe storms, but wind and hail and a potential isolated tornado is on the docket there. I'm not overly excited by any of those things, but it is what it is in our first storm system of the season. All right, so by Friday morning, things kind of quiet down and then start to redevelop again. So by 6 and 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, get more action across southern and southeastern Oklahoma. And then as we head into the noontime hour, things blossom up here for your Friday here across Oklahoma City and point south and west. There's our big secondary round that comes through. And with this, again, pockets of wind and hail and some of this as well. And as we head into the afternoon hours by 4 o'clock, heavier stuff down there in southeast Oklahoma. Probably can't rule out an isolated or stray tornado as well, as wind profiles in this area in some of the earlier data still suggest that there's enough turning in there, you might get something that happens. Still on a low potential though, so that's the good news. All right, anyway, that activity by Friday evening, you can still see is going on. So you do have some plans Friday evening. Not only with the wind, you're going to have to deal with scattered showers, and like I said, in southeast Oklahoma, still some thunderstorms. So it'll be a kind of a wet period coming up. Rainfall amounts over the next couple of days. Some places won't get as much as others in the nature of thunderstorms that do develop because they're not widespread. But pretty decent amounts, 1 to 2 inches over a large area if you kind of block in the eastern third of Oklahoma. And other than that little sweet spot up here, kind of not much happening down this part of the state. Otherwise, not too bad. Anywhere from, quarter to half, maybe 1 inch across central Oklahoma. So kind of wild ranges. We do look at temperatures, like we said on Saturday. We're down to the freezing point once you go from around Ponca City to Enid here in this little blue line. Now, in the past, last couple of days, the models have flirted with freezing in this area. Right now, they're staying on the warm side. But if you live in a low-lying valley, where you typically have a light freeze or a little dip, just make sure that that is on your plate in the back of your mind to protect those flowers that you may have planted early. Same thing for Sunday, probably a bit better opportunity for a widespread freeze across many areas along I-40, kind of dipping down to around Lawton and then back out here in southwest Oklahoma. So maybe not down here in the southeastern third of the state for a freeze, but for the rest of the state looks pretty good. So again, make sure you cover up your tender vegetation. Here we look at temperatures over the next, let's go this map here, a couple days. 70s for our Thursday. Obviously a little cooler for our Friday thanks to the passage of the cold front. That'll be coming in, like we said earlier, here in Oklahoma City. So our temperature of 59 would have to happen in the morning hours and then falling for the afternoon into the 40s. So that'd be falling temperatures here in this case for us. Otherwise, on Saturday, like we said, pretty close to freezing both days here in Oklahoma City metro area. Otherwise, pretty decent weekend as far as the cool weather. Not drastically cold, but also not hot either. So kind of in between. So it's another chance you can wear some of your jackets and long sleeves. When you get, and here's the other deal. It'll probably protect you from getting a sunburn if you wear like a long sleeve shirt if you're going to be out there this weekend doing some more yard work. Otherwise, into the 60s and 70s for later into next week. So that is a quick and dirty look at what is happening. So obviously, I'll be keeping an eye on what happens in the data for tomorrow if things were to improve in the model day. I looked at all the high resolution data, and they all pretty much say the same. So this time around, we got slim pickings on the moisture, on the deep moisture. Now, well, I will tell you that this time of the year, still a little early, usually for severe weather, but for whatever reason, like a clockwork, right around March 15th, 9 times out of 10, it's go time. So that's usually about the time we start to get our deeper moisture in here. Usually the atmosphere doesn't get capped too soon, so therefore it's easier to get some thunderstorms that are severe in nature and can be tornadic in nature. So we kind of start our unofficial, it's not an official thing in the books. You're not going to find it, on an official Wikipedia page. The point being is, if you live here and you work here long enough, mid-March to about mid-June is our sweet spot for severe weather. And so that comes up here this month. So this is a good reminder, if you have not yet, to clean out your storm shelters. Get the cobwebs out, because trust me, they're down there. Spiders are down there. They're your friends. Unless they're creepy crawly kinds. Like brown recluse or black widow. So you might want to get those out of there, spray it, whatever you want to do. That way you're ready to go, jump in it when need be. And then don't store stuff down there, because you need to store your butt down there, should the conditions warrant. Let's see. That's a good time also to check the NOAA weather radio, the batteries in that. On my description here, if you click on this video, you will see a description link that goes to my Amazon store. In my Amazon store, I have a few items that most people would like to use or need during weather events or camping or something like that. But I do have the NOAA weather radio on there that I use. It's the most common. I've got it my bedroom does the trick. I think it's only like $30 bucks, something like that, unless prices went up recently. So it's actually pretty reasonable and does what it needs to do, and you can program it and set it what you want to receive. I think I turn everything off except for tornadoes, and there's like one or two on there. Something else on there I think is on there. It's been so long since I've messed with it, because the rest of the stuff I just don't really care too much about. I think flash flooding is on there, tornadoes, and maybe a severe storm. The rest of the stuff, there's a lot of alerts you can get that I don't really care for, but you might want them. It does come, I think, with most of them enabled. But the other thing is, Ron, you can use my weather app. It's free, AT's Weather to Go. So it is a severe weather app. Just so you know, there are a lot of weather apps out there now. When I first released mine back in 2014, I think it was, there wasn't many weather apps out there at all, much less any severe weather apps. Well, that's still the case. There's not really any that predictive, like tornado prediction, are not out there, but there's still a lot of weather apps out there now that'll just do tornadoes and then, temperatures, and then whether or not it's going to rain that day, and they're all over the place. So I don't, I don't know how they make them as far as what they're putting in them for the data, or how they come up with it, or their source. So I don't know anything about that, but what I can tell you is if you open up 5 different apps, you'll probably get 5 different forecasts. So they should all be close to one another. But for my app, use it for the tornado warnings. You're going to want that. It alerts you about 10, 15, 20 minutes ahead of time before a tornado comes at your door, because it's specific. It uses your GPS location or the address that you put in. You can put in an address. In other words, you could put in your kids, say they're at another house. You got another family member, grandma, keep tabs on grandma, or maybe grandma wants to keep tabs on the grandkids, so vice versa. Lake house, all that kind of stuff. Work location, you put all that in there. I think you can have up to 16 locations, so you can put them all across the country. But no other app can do that, so that's kind of a neat little function of that. But put that in there, that way all those places will be warned for tornadoes. And just for because this is the world of app and privacy and stuff. I don't have any of your data. I don't look at any of your data. I don't even know who you are. So to me, like if I were to look at my interface as far as like app users for AT's Weather to Go, you show up as a little like icon. Like there's a person here at this location which has the app. That's it. And that's all I know, which is all I really need to know. And that's all the app needs to know, because it just needs to know if there's somebody there at that spot and the tornado track is predicted to go right over their head, send them an alert. So that's how the whole thing works. So rest easy on that deal if you want to use my app for that. It is free on Apple, Google Play. You can pick it up at any time. And if you click on something that wants to charge it, you didn't click on my app. And if you search for it, so search for Aaron Tuttle, my name, or AT's Weather, unscrupulous individuals have put my name in their app or my slogan in their app so that it bumps mine down and puts theirs up to the top, 1, 2, or 3. If it doesn't have AT's Weather on it, that's not it. So just because you search for it as the first or second hit, that means those people paid, and then they did some back-end shady stuff to hopefully get you to click on it. There's scammers everywhere. They will take advantage of whatever. So just heads up on that. That'll not save you a headache because I don't know what's up there now. Okay, I think that was it. Like I said, I'll probably do a lunchtime live tomorrow around. Well, I do one. I just thought about this. Listen, I have to get a crown tomorrow morning. I have never had a crown before. And I was so irritated. I'm like, look, man, Doc, I brush my teeth. I floss. I gargle. I said, how and why am I having a crown put on? I said, is it age? I said, I'm getting up there. And they said, no, man. They said, you have it's back molar. It's like number 19. So it's the one before the one. He goes, you have a tooth that's made with the lip kind of like this. It's in the wrong position to where every time you bite down, it's like forces it down like this. And over time, it finally sheared it to where it put a little crack in there. So it's a superficial crack, but if I eat and chew, it hurts, kind of a deal. So they're going to shave it down and put a cap on it. So I've never had one. So if I can't talk at noon tomorrow, well, then I can't do it live. But if I can talk after that, then you'll hear from me. Or maybe I'll just and show you some maps. I don't know what I'll do. Anyway, so that's what I got for you. That's some new news. That's breaking news from AT's Weather Desk. All right, Tim, how about spring break weather? What? Is this spring break already? What time is it? What year is it? It's month 306. By the way, don't go to Florida. They don't want you spring breakers anymore. They're kicking them out. And they're charging them a lot of money. And then we found out from work today, because we had some guys might be going to Puerto Rico to fix a radar system, and they were charging $900 a night because of spring break prices. So I don't know what's happening out there in the world today. It's going crazy. You can't even afford groceries, much less a hotel night for spring break partying. But I guess you got to do what you got to do. Let me answer your question. Let's just take a sneak peek down the road on the weather model data, so you can see what's coming long term. And then I'm going to zip out of here because I got some things I need to do. Let's see here. Let me go to which one I want to use. We'll just try this one. All right. So I like two things I like to do. Just get a quick and dirty look at storm system, what's coming our way, for example. All right, so there's the first one. All right, after that, let's see. This is around Tuesday, the 12th. Little system zips by. It's not exactly aligned very well. Then here's a bigger one. Oh, it splits off. We got a little instability there for the 15th and the 16th and the 17th. A lot of it gets shunted down here into Texas. We get in a trapped confluent flow here and then here. So we're kind of in a no man's dead man zone right here, where not a lot of action happens. Because you have your upper level low here, and you have your upper level low here, and you have a little trough here. So we're kind of stuck in between with these two. If this hadn't kicked in so deep, this would have had a better chance to influence us over a 2 or 3 day period. Probably some severe weather. Because when you get a southwest flow loft this time of the year, you can get some thunderstorms. So we'll see what that looks like here when I go underneath that instability. So let's go here. All right. So there's our action here for the next couple of days. Looks like a little bit of snow in the Panhandle for Friday afternoon and evening, Oklahoma and Texas. Let's see here. All right, so then on Thursday, the 14th, by the way, here was that one on Tuesday I said. Remember how it said just misaligned? Really wasn't a whole lot of lift with it. For, looks like Tuesday night around midnight, it gave us a teeny tiny little cluster of storms here. See what the atmosphere looks like. Yeah, we're hurting for moisture, so that's why I didn't do much. Okay, so let's zip that out. And then now let's go to 14th. So 14th and 15th, 16th. Got some thunderstorms around the area. Let's see, for the 14th and 15th and the 16th, they just shunt down to Texas for the reasons I had mentioned earlier. So we let's get a couple of days of just some good rain out of that. And then as far as anything severe goes, let's see, there's on the 14th. Let's see what our atmosphere looks like. Marginally severe. Again, kind of hurting for low level moisture. Shear's pretty decent. So I'm sure we'll have a couple of severe storms mixed in with all that, but otherwise, not a huge signal. But this is today, right? And things can obviously change at that point forward. If we want to go past that period, so we'll get past the middle of March. Let's see here. All right, so there's the 15th. Dry, quiet through the 19th, 20th. Ooh, big front comes in here on the 21st. Now, this is if you believe the GFS. And I have not looked long term to assume this is correct or anything, but assume that this model is right at this particular stage in time, the 21st. Oh, for our, by the way, me and Jody's wedding anniversary is coming up on March 20th. So anyway, it looks like a little cold signal. Let's see what it does with temperatures. Yeah, cool, but not crazy. There's some 40s and 50s. As you get later in the month, it gets harder to get cool, really cold with these shots of cold air. And they like to zip through the northeast anyways, and we only get glancing blows unless a pattern really changes, which is hard for that to happen because it becomes too active for our time of the year and kind of shoves everything off to the east too quick. So anyway, so there you go. So long term, that's just a quick shot. Just see what the models had hinted at. So a couple of waves of rain and then some colder weather coming up over the next 3 weeks. So that's kind of typical though for March. So there you have it. All right. Well, I am out of here. By the way, Ashley, I see you. Happy anniversary. If others of you out there have an anniversary tomorrow, happy anniversary as well. The guys on YouTube, thanks for checking in also and leaving your comments. And glad you're checking in with Jody. Jill, thank you for your YouTube gift there. I never know what to call those things on YouTube. They used to call them super chats. I guess they probably kind of still do. All right, we're just looking at the comments here real quick. Okay, well, I'm going to get out of here, and appreciate you guys on Facebook. Also, drop me some stars. Brenda, I saw you. Bethany, Elizabeth, very thankful for you ladies. Who else? Roger as well, and Leslie. So, Darla, and Ron. Gotcha. That's the rest. That's all I can see. If you did it before then, it won't let me go back that far, but appreciate that as well. Okay, you guys have a good night, and like I said, if I could talk tomorrow, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Otherwise, sleep well, and we'll talk soon. Take care.